Welcome to the Backlash at Backlash.com. My name is Rod Van Mecklin, and in this video I'm going to read from my 1991 article, The Sexual Revolution. The full article is linked below. Quote, "Sexual revolution is a non-feminist phrase of the 1960s that simply meant women's increased availability on men's terms," close quote. Gloria Steinem, 1980. 1991, Bellevue, Washington. In the feminist view, men use the sexual revolution to dominate women. Quote, "To look at it more cynically, male culture has caused the harassment of women sexually with the sexual revolution, putting women down for being too sexual outside of marriage at the same time that it urges women to be sexual on male terms, then offered protection inside marriage if women give up this idea of freedom, like a mafia shakedown," close quote. Share height, women, and love. This is based on four false assumptions. First, that the sexual revolution was purely a male phenomenon, something created and orchestrated entirely by the playboy mentality. Second, that male culture is a monolithic whole comprised of men of one mind all participating in a conspiracy against women. Third, I find that very humorous, this whole idea that men are all conspiring against women. But the irony is, you go and look at Susan Brownmiller's book on rape, and that's one of the underlying premises. And millions of people believe it. Imbeciles. Third, that men oppress women. And finally, that the sexual revolution liberated men. For many men, the sexual revolution was oppressive. If women were pressured to be available, men were pressured to perform. Under this pressure, men, as Ray Tannehill noted in Sex and History, began to go into retreat. Many men may have cheered the sexual revolution, but for many others it did not liberate their libido, but annihilated their ardor. Nor are women men's victims. Despite countless polemics to the contrary, feminists have yet to prove most men victimize most women. Nor have they proved that women do not oppress men. All their facts reveal is that, as Louise Eichenbaum and Susie Orbach noted, too many mothers raise their daughters to be victims and to use victim status to manipulate men. In war, men do most of the dying. Have women consequently oppressed themselves? If the sexual revolution oppressed women, then perhaps they have. Erica Young, Xavier Hollander, Germaine Greer, Jill Johnston, Ava Figgs, many other female authors and entertainers, and millions of women did as much to shape and promote the sexual revolution as any man. If most young women had actively disagreed with or rejected the basic tenets of the sexual revolution, most young men would have rejected them too. If there's any truth at all to the idea men think with their little heads, then what these little heads tell most men to do is do what it takes to earn the attentions, affections, and sexual favors of women. Hence, if women had given their love and sex mostly to men who rejected the values of the sexual revolution, men, following the lead of their little heads, would have rejected the sexual revolution too. There was no conspiracy among men to force women to participate in free love and sexual hedonism. Nor, for that matter, was hedonism the essential nature of the sexual revolution. For millions of women and men, its clear message was sex and nudity are not sins, and making love is better than making war. Evidently, feminists want us to believe women are oppressed by slogans like "make love, not war." Perhaps that's because in wars, men do most of the dying. That's all for now. Check out the other videos. Subscribe to the channel. For the Backlash at Backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mecklin.